No intro. Okay, all right. All right. We are live. I don't know why there's no intro, but that's okay. Um, we're here, guys. It's the NXT review show, and we're gonna take this now. We gotta figure this out. Then next time, man, I gotta talk to Katie about this. Hi, everybody. There we go. I know it was a little awkward intro there, but we gotta fix this intro situation, wrestling dog. I don't know what the hell is going on. Sometimes when we want to do it early, the intro doesn't show up. When we do it late, the intro doesn't show up, and then we do it on time. Sometimes the intro shows up. So I gotta talk to Katie and executive consultant about that. And that will be a me thing. Why the hell that doesn't happen? But how have you been? What a great show tonight. Yeah, I'll start with that.
So let's see. Working with kids has kept me busy. Going to shows sometimes has kept me busy. Sometimes
Okay,
I
cool.
hang out with my friends depending if there is or isn't a show happening in town. Sometimes I'll have people trying to see where the hell I am, and then when I don't answer their calls, they assume I'm at a show, and I'm like, what show? Any show that's happening is out of the city or the states.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you tell me where I'm at, cause the only place I'm gonna be
Yeah.
at this weekend is watching with some friends night one of SummerSlam. And then night two I'll be most
Oh,
likely
cool.
watching at home.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Very cool. I'll be probably night one. I'm probably skipping out on because I'm probably going out that night. But night two, I'll probably catch. But yeah, that's awesome. Night one looks better than night two, to be honest with you. But I won't
I
be around
did
night
send the
one.
card to someone I know and they said the exact same thing. They said night one's
Yeah,
superior to
yeah,
night two. All I know
yeah,
is I want
yeah,
Chelsea to
yeah.
climb the top of the ladder and win the interim championship. They trust her to be the inaugural US Women's Champion, and she did very well on it, so she could do it again.
Yes,
An
yes, yes.
established woman like Charlotte does not need that interim belt. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Actually, I have a story later on. She's one of the favorites from the
Of course,
sources.
she is one of the favorites. It's Charlotte Flair, the God knows how many time women's champion by now.
I think six. I think it's six. Oh, and
Wasn't
NXT
it seven?
champion once too. It might have been if you count NXT, right? So he was NXT champion for a while,
Here's the
wasn't he?
thing with the men, they count the NXT titles. With the women, they don't like to. Literally last night on Monday Night Raw, they said, "Oh, Raquel finally won a singles title." Did y'all forget she was one of the most dominant NXT women's champions they had down there?
I mean, I didn't, but yeah,
They
and she
forgot
was
that.
really
They forgot
good.
there clearly because Michael Cole didn't say a damn word.
Michael Cole doesn't pay attention to NXT. It's really sad. He should
Clearly,
because it's the best It's the
clearly,
best
because so
product
many
the
talents down
WWE
there,
has.
because so many
It's
talents down
it is.
there do well up
I
there,
mean,
and some may not. Like how we
yeah,
started
and a
our
lot of them are
show.
gonna get called up. You know, I sent you a thing over the weekend that Lola Vice might get called up to SmackDown soon.
I did tell somebody
So
that same thing, especially
yeah,
because
yeah.
she and Mr. Iguana lost the AAA tag belts.
You told me that. That's right. You said to me on Sunday. You said, by the way, they just lost their belts. I said, really? I said I didn't catch AAA Saturday. I wasn't watching it.
Neither did
But
I, but I follow YouTube people, and some YouTube people like to make posts that show the picture. She and Mr. Iguana lost to the Lagardo kid and
mm,
some chick that apparently has a reputation. I have no idea what her name is.
okay, no, I don't follow AAA all the time. But no, yeah, like I said, hi Jeffrey, what's going on? But no, yeah, I'm excited for that. But tonight's show is great. And who do we you kicked it off with? Wrestling
We
doll.
kicked it up with the one and only who crashed his former home of NXT, the Mr. Grayson Waller, who says it's time he'd
Yay!
rattle some cages. And this man, I'm just going to say, he's made some very
Mhm.
valid points about some of these men in this roster. I'm just going to say that right now.
Are you
He
talking
says
about
it's
main
time to rattle
roster
some cages.
or
He
are you
says
talking
it's
about
time
the
to
main
rattle some
roster
cages.
or NXT?
He
Yeah,
made
you
his
just want
main
to be
roster
clear.
debut in the main event
Okay.
at Madison Square Garden 6 weeks after breaking his leg on an announce desk.
Remember that?
WrestleMania 40
Yeah.
sat atop of a ladder, brought the SmackDown tag
Mhm.
titles, was on top of the world, and then
I know.
something
I remember
changed.
that too. Mm.
He didn't know what it was. It wasn't his work ethic or his talents. Maybe he said the wrong thing, didn't kiss the right ass, and the last 2 years of his career has been wasted. He spent the last 2 years carrying 240 pounds of idiots on his back and got people to cheer for him, but that Marty Jannetty is still lurching to the microphone. It gets worse. This the last year of his career, he pretended to be at a funeral. He did the deal, wore the silly hat, and told people just how good someone else is. And the ironic thing is he was dressed for a funeral, but the only thing dying was his damn career. But
Mm.
it's a new day. He could sit at home, cash a check, eat
Yeah.
catering once a
He
week,
had to
but
bring
that ain't
that
him.
up. He had to bring that up. That was funny.
That wasn't. Listen, I'm using the blogs. That's what's in these notes. I don't write down notes because there's too much to pay attention to. He's in
No,
the
no, I
best
get
shape
it.
of his
I'm just
life.
saying, it's New Day, you know. It's funny.
Listen, he says he's in the best shape of his life. He showed us his body, which, in comparison over the last few years, it does look better. I don't look at Grayson Waller that way, so I can objectively say it without y'all thinking I'm drooling over the man, which I don't need to because, eh. Anyways, he needs to show he means it. He's got demons, and he has to conquer them to where he should be. And the one thing that's been keeping him awake for a very long time is the NXT Championship. It
Mm.
used to mean something to represent the best wrestler in the world. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Braun Breaker, Trick Willie, Carmelo, Oba. They got the red carpet rolled out. He never had it, so he gets treated like a Netflix ad break comedy act. So he's here to take the NXT Championship. Who's going to stop him? Cruz Montana. He
Dun, dun,
loves the new
dun.
name, and he came in here ready to go. But Grayson knows that he knows these people, and in 6 weeks they'll have a shiny new toy. He thinks he's going to come in and get a title shot because he was the man in TNA. It's not 2005 anymore. He's not impressed. Tony D, you want to come do something? Tony showed the world what he could do because there's nobody left, and he'll send him home to be with his ugly baby, which that's one thing I don't agree with. You cross the line when you talk about somebody's family,
Yeah.
especially their children. Even more, his newly born child. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that was
A
low.
crew
I
member
agree.
has to come
Agree.
in and tell him to stop.
Mm.
And Grayson tells HBK to stop him himself or go ahead and send one of his guys down to stop him. And to the guys in the back, maybe put TikTok down and watch the show because he walked in your house without wiping his feet. The men's NXT roster is soft, lazy, complicit, happy to be here. The women of NXT running laps around y'all. 90% of you think you're ready to be called up, but he's seen who's back there, and maybe 10% of them are ready. And they're all women. He sees them at tryouts fired up and hungry, but then they're too happy to put WWE Superstar in their bio and impress local women in town, in downtown Orlando in that case, and end up in the trainer's room or medical for months at a time. And then the independent people, his people who can do incredible things in the ring but are charisma vacuums on the mic. He knows you're looking at Sean having a panic attack, but inside he's smiling because he knows Waller's telling the truth. The men's division has been ripe to the taking for months. He swats down the Grayson Waller chance, and he continues saying he's going to walk in, take the title, the division, every opportunity he can because, unfortunately for that embarrassment of a roster, he's
Mm.
starting to remember who Grayson Waller is. He's the most
Mm.
underrated man on the roster. Pound for pound best. Mike gets dead, chucks it away, goes to the floor, and keeps cutting that promo into the camera, telling NXT to consider their cages rattled. We're in July. We have had a lot of
Mm.
crazy promos. That's a contender for promo of the year, in my opinion.
Mm.
And
Was
this is
very
someone who
strong.
could This is someone who could not stand Grayson Waller for the last couple years
I
because he
remember. I
decided
remember. I
because
remember.
he decided to team himself up with the biggest lovable idiot in NXT who decided to be all big, bad, and evil.
Please don't say
Basically
Austin
trying
Theory because Austin Ball Theory is amazing. By the way, him and the Vision are tag champions right now. I think. Well,
the
actually, they
Vision.
switch. I think.
The Vision is literally trying to be Judgment Day right now. That's all they're doing.
No,
Austin
no,
Theory
no,
is
they're
trying to be
not.
Dominic Mysterio,
No,
which makes
no,
Maxine
he's
Dupree his
not.
Liv Morgan by default.
No,
Let's
they're
see.
different.
Braun
It's
Breaker.
different. There's
No.
similarities.
Let me cook.
Similarities.
Let me cook. Let me cook. And I'm going to use former and current members. Braun Breaker would be Davey and Priest because they're similar in size, which would make Logan
Okay.
Paul by default JD McDonough because they both look stupid and they got no other women. So that's who they are. And that
I
also is
disagree.
included because Judgment Day also did have the tag title. So, am
I
I
mean, they did at
wrong?
one point,
You're
so
the only one who
I
thinks
mean,
I'm wrong, but I think the comments will say
I
that
love
I'm
Division,
fairly,
man.
it's a fairly close.
Logan and Austin and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think they're great. And Maxine Dupree, she's finally coming into her own character. Finally, I think. Hi, bad guy. Hi, Booba. We miss you. I'm glad to see you're here. Anyway, but like I said, I personally think the Vision's doing great things right now. I just
Because
don't
they're
know
trying
who's
to be Judgment
champion.
Day.
They switch. So, anyway, I do have to say, besides Austin Theory, which they had a good run. Um, he carried the New Day for quite some time, and they're no longer with the company. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, they got offered a shit contract. Why would you want to stay for that?
no, and now they're going to AEW probably from what I've been reading online.
Listen, listen, listen,
So
listen. I need to say this. Just because someone leaves or they get fired from WWE, we gotta stop automatically assuming they're going to AEW. Maybe they want to work the independents for a while and then they get signed somewhere, whether it be AEW, whether it be TNA, whether it be GCW, MLW, NWA, anywhere in the world they want. They could go to New Japan for all I care. They could go work in Japan if they wanted to.
mm.
But we can't just
Yeah,
keep
well,
assuming everybody's going to go to AEW.
I mean, if you're Tony Khan and you have that kind of money to burn, yes, they can, and
Do
they
you know how
probably
much
will
money
because
that
they
man
have the
has
money to
burned taking up the sloppy seconds of WWE since he's had his company?
sloppy seconds. Russia Banks, there's no sloppy seconds.
You
Co-main
get
eventing
my
all in, by
point,
the
though.
way.
You get my point, though. WWE either let
Some of
them
them,
go or they
some of
left
them,
willingly, and they
some of them.
always snatch them up. Most of the
Yeah,
roster,
that's how it
I
works.
would say about 55% of the roster over there are all former WWE talents,
Pretty
whether
much,
they're in
yeah,
AEW or ROH.
yeah, pretty much.
That's
That's
my
not a
point.
bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I mean, it's experience, but they've come into their own characters. Mercedes is now a totally different character than what the CEO, Sasha Banks was. Sasha Banks was the boss. Mercedes is the CEO now. I mean, she's on top of the world, and she's
Well,
so
yeah,
winning
because
that
now she
belt.
can win
By
as
the
much
way,
championships as she wants, and
she
nobody
won
has the right to
13
complain
at
anymore.
one time.
Yes, and
But
then
no, going.
one by one,
Well,
they're
she
all
had to
gone,
lose them. She had to
and now
lose
they're
them.
all gone.
She had to lose them. Anyway, I do have to say, about the rest of the promo. I agree with you. Yes, bad guy. I do agree with you. Sheamus might go to AEW due to Claudio Castagnoli. I do believe that. I think him and Claudio are very good friends from what I've heard.
They've
And
teamed
yeah,
together as the
so
bar, so yes.
yeah,
We're
exactly.
not gonna
I would love
listen.
that.
Listen, just because they're in another company does not mean we're gonna pretend that their history was not a thing. All right?
That's true. That's true. No, it can't. I mean, look, WWE's been acknowledging the Shield a whole hell of a lot lately, and Moxley's not in the company no more. So
Well, I mean, with the feud that's going on with Roman and Seth, I mean, they're facing each other one-on-one in a match for the first time in 4 years.
that is true. That is true. I also have to say, speaking of children, I gotta bring this point up, Wrestling Doll. I must. That was low of Grayson to do, and I think it was low of Seth to do it last night on Raw. If you watch the main segment of Raw, go back and watch the highlights of the main segment. Seth called out Roman's children. I didn't like that neither. I don't like it when you bring family into it. And I think
It's
they've been
not the
doing that
first
too
time
much.
Seth Rollins did it. He did it with
No, I
Matt
know.
Riddle, for crying out loud.
Right. No, I agree. I agree. And honestly, I don't like it when I personally think they cross that line. And some wrestlers don't allow that, by the way. Like Randy Orton and some of the other guys, they don't allow that, but by the way. So,
I mean,
yes, I
Ethan
still
Page.
think that Maya won the championship.
Ethan Page, during a Chris Van Vliet interview, mentioned when Joe Hendry asked it for his song, he said, "Write whatever, just don't write about my kids."
I know, and it's a fair point. And honestly, I think it was a low blow by Grayson,
I
but
think
Grayson is
if
right
you're
though.
trying
The
to hurt
women's
somebody,
division,
stop bringing up the kids. Stop
I
bringing up the
agree.
kids, and if any relative has passed away,
Hmm.
stop bringing up the
Yeah,
relative. And if
and
anybody knows what particular thing I'm talking about,
mhm,
Paige and Charlotte, where she said her
yeah,
brother wasn't really much of a fighter, which was not planned and made Charlotte
right,
snap.
right, yeah. No, that was another low one. I mean, sometimes they bring up
Or
the
personal
father
business.
like Dusty Rhodes. They brought him up with Cody Rhodes storylines. They've always everyone brings Dusty Rhodes up. Who was kind of one of the founding members or kind of core member of the NXT brand back in the day. I agree, Jeffrey. Absolutely. But I have to say though, the rest of this promo, he was right. A lot of the women have been really cooking a lot in NXT, and the men
Running
have been
circles around
lacking.
them men. Running
Yeah.
circles around these men. They have put on better matches than the men, have had better storylines than the men. It's like, y'all need to get your shit
it's true.
together.
It is
These
true. It is
women
true.
are tearing you down without even trying. They've
It is
got
true.
more in their pinky than y'all got in y'all's entire two arms, two legs, entire body, and head. What are y'all
That's
doing?
so true. No, that's true. That is true. Look, I
Name
mean,
me 5 male
Rose.
storylines you're entertaining right now within the next 30 seconds, and you can tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. Honestly, I mean, look,
I was
the ones
literally
I
about
like
to
right
switch to a
now.
timer and see if you could do it.
I mean, I can name a couple good stories. I mean, I like the young Randy situation. I love Myles Borne and his whole thing. I think he's great. Shiloh Hill is, as you know, one of my favorites. And I'm very interested to see what this Cruz Montana thing goes. But besides that, I really can't think of anything else that's exciting.
3 out of 5, not bad.
Thanks. That those are the ones I care about, actually. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Who
and
really cares
I
about
mean,
the storyline between the culling? Nobody. Who cares about all the stuff
right,
going on with BirthRight?
right,
Nobody. Who cares
right,
about the stuff happening with
right,
Vanity Project, how they desperately need to lose them belts because they're boring as hell and all they do is cheat to win every time? Nobody.
right,
But speaking
right.
of those
And
that
that
you
that is
care
the issue.
about,
Yeah.
speaking of those that you care about, we have
O.T.M actually
Myles
is a good one.
Borne.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Myles Borne and
Yay!
Tavion chatting about Grayson's promo in the locker room. And Tavion gives Myles a pep talk about defending his title tonight and then going out to beat Swipe Right for the tag titles. With Mason rolling in saying he's tired of people saying the NXT boys ain't it and he's gonna beat some ass tonight.
Mm, okay. I mean, honestly, I told you, I like the whole story with young Randy and Tavion. I liked it. And I don't know, I just don't care for the whole tag division. I don't know what are we doing, wrestling? I
The
told you
tag
this
division,
is a
the
mess.
tag division,
It's a mess. And AEW has the best tag division right now. Tell me otherwise, please, because if you haven't seen over on Sunday, 2 great tag matches happened. Holy shit, they were amazing. I mean,
I'm just gonna
AEW
say
is
this.
cooking right now.
I'm just gonna say this. Not everybody's gonna pay $50 to watch a pay-per-view every time they have a
No,
damn
great.
pay-per-view.
All right, great. But you can watch the highlights of the tag match. They were fantastic.
And I'm just gonna say this: with the way this men's division is going, especially the tag division down here, it's about it. It stinks about as bad as a 1,000-year-old egg.
Like you said, yeah, what you said, yeah. It's trash. Okay, not good, dude.
So
Um,
we had Lizzy Rain versus Izzi Dame
yay,
as our first match of the night.
yay. Well, not yay. I mean,
And honestly, this match, I like seeing some Lizzy, so I'm not mad at it. Izzy bores me, although I feel like her gear tonight, it kind of felt like she was dressed up, just getting ready to just doing this match, and then when it was over, she was going to dip and dive and go find the nearest rave to go party at because she had a feeling she was going to lose and was going to need to dance her feelings out because she's going to be all pissed hurt for not winning the title because there's no chance in hell she's going to win anything right now.
hi Z, I see you on there. I mean,
But there were some
Z,
good
I
moments.
can't. It's not my week this week for AEW.
We got some chops. We got some good shoulder blocks,
So.
some kicking. We get a little picture-in-picture moment of Cruz Montana walking past Grayson. And then we get a standing Falcon Arrow from Izzy, but doesn't get her anything.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point during the match, we get Nico there getting ready to run interference while Izzy drops Lizzy with a boot. And Nico turns around to see a man in a hoodie. And it is Sean Spears with the chair, as the chairman as he was. Lizzy takes advantage of everything hits her with the good old Thunderstruck, and Lizzy takes the win. Which, thank fucking God.
Yay! I'm happy. Um, the only highlight for me of this match was the outside stuff. All I remember was somebody hit somebody into the steel steps, and I was like, "Wow, that's gotta hurt."
I mean, those steel steps aren't comfy. I already tell you that. I've never fallen on any, but I can tell you they aren't comfy.
I touched them before. I'll tell you, they are not. They are not. Yeah, they are not been hurt. My God.
So if anybody that wants to say wrestling is fake, try getting thrown against some steel steps and tell me if that's fake or not.
Oh man, can you imagine, man? I would never. But
y'all want to say wrestling is fake? Try falling onto concrete on the floor with no padding or anything and tell me if wrestling is fake.
Oh, that's rough. That would be rough. Anyway, I do. I don't know. No, I agree with this. I do like her in ring gear. That was kind of cool. I guess, but Coleman's not good. They haven't been good for a while, and honestly, like you said, they're not even a faction. I used to be the biggest fan of them, and that
you
was
were the only
because
fan.
of the I mean, yeah, and that was because of that guy. What was his name? Sean something, right? And
Sean
he left them.
Spears.
So. That's it. Yes, him. I liked him.
The chairman.
He's another one who has. Yeah, he's another one who actually might have a decent storyline. I mean, not now, but he did. I guess that counts. I guess. But
we'll just say 3.5 because the storyline's high.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair. But no, I like the match. I'm, Lizzy Rain. She's starting to grow on me a lot more. At first I didn't really care for her. But honestly, seeing her in the ring, man, she's got some moves, and
I told you have to give her a chance.
But she's good. I'm starting to like. As for Izzy, I can see why they paired her up with Izzy. I guess they needed somebody to pair her up with, and I guess Izzy was just the person to do it. So yeah, I guess the match was all right.
I'm just gonna say this in the nicest way possible. Izzy was just there. Izzy was just there.
That's how I felt. I mean, I felt more. It was like Lizzy dominating the match more, doing more. But Izzy had a couple good moves throughout the match. I enjoyed. I guess she got her shots in. But honestly, the whole what was that guy? Nico, whatever his name is. I don't know.
Nico Vance.
Really point. That's it. he was doing all the
Listen,
outside shit. I don't care
the
for it,
calling,
man.
the calling have not been a proper faction since they decided to throw Sean Spears out. They
Yeah, sure.
think it worked in their
Yeah.
favor, but they literally lost their only good speaking person in the group because Lizzy can't cut a promo worth a damn. Nico only says about 10 words max, so they're screwed.
Pretty
Y'all took
much.
out the only good person you had that was meant to y'all, and that's a good talker.
And now
Because
they're
I don't know what
letting
Izzy thinks she is, but she is not ready for anything by her
Oh
damn self.
no, not at all. My God,
The
but
only
this is
reason why
funny
her
though. They're
U.S.
giving her
title run
the.
was why her North American title run was somewhat decent was because of who was mentoring her. Other than that,
You mean that Sean do right? The Sean do was under right
Izzy,
yeah.
I feel, could benefit from being involved.
Okay, I can see
I
that
mean, it worked
actually.
for Nikita. Nikita finally won a title after being in WWE for over 1,500 days.
Wow.
1,574 days of being in WWE, and that woman finally won a championship.
No, yeah, no, I agree. Hey, Ma, I think I saw some lightning. Might need to shut the air off. Oh, anyway, sorry about that. I had to tell Mom I saw lightning behind me. I'm sorry, the guy saw a flash. Anyway, no, I agree with you completely. Calling's boring. I was a fan because of that Sean guy. He left, and now here we are. It's sad they're giving Izzy the speaking role because she's not good at speaking. So that is the issue I have with them. But here we are, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't know if she gets a call up, man. I don't know. I agree with you. Send her down to
If the
Evolve. Do
woman
something
gets
with
a call
her.
up, they'll use her in, I feel, either dark shows or try to go after mid card championships for a little bit, and then she'll be stuck in catering, collecting a check. Like the same thing that Grayson Waller said during his promo.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. And then maybe 3 years from now, she comes back and becomes a Grayson Waller type. There you go.
Or tries to be Mandy Rose. Anyways, we get
Oh, yeah.
Romeo and Noam Dar backstage. They're welcoming Cruz to the NXT family. We give him a pep talk, and yes, I hear how Vic Joseph refers to his name. I don't like saying it like that. So I'm just going to stick
Okay.
to how I pronounce it. Jaquan Sugars
No,
rolls
you're
up.
fine. Yeah.
I don't like saying it the way that Vic says it. It sounds like a white man trying to say a black man's name, and it sounds weird. Anyways, Romeo apologizes for not getting it done. Jaquan says it's fine. They did great, and Dion still has splinters.
Yeah.
Romeo wants to run it back. Noam Dar waves him off, and they leave.
Yeah.
Cruz tells Jaquan the last time he saw him, he was whipping his ass, and he says he's a changed man. They have a quick little banter, and he moves on. Kaylani rolls up to warn Cruz about the unfair working environment, tells him you should just get up and leave. He says things are a lot different from you for when you were TNA Knockouts champion. She agrees, and she keeps going on and on and on about how opportunities keep passing her up. She beats somebody. She should be number one contender. And Cruz, like all of us, is tired of hearing her complain about it. He heard her complain about it for 5 seconds. Was like, I don't want to hear this anymore, and he left. We've been hearing this. We have been hearing this woman go on and on about this for God knows how long. If you want an
Months.
opportunity, do something about it instead of complaining. Because the more you complain, nobody's going to want to do anything for you. So I think a good
I
bet for
agree with you.
you would be possibly, maybe, go get called up and go be with your man in SmackDown.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
that's
in
right.
maybe in some parallel universe, you and your man go on AAA and y'all go against Trick and Lash Legend for a one-off night match.
I don't see that happening, but
Listen, if it doesn't happen in real life, it can happen on WWE 2K.
no, it can. It can. You know, no,
That's just some fantasy booking in my head.
For the record, my tag champions in 2K were Joe Hendry and Danhausen, and that happened last night. So anything can happen. Surprised the lights didn't go out when I said Danhausen. Anyway, no, this was great. The whole Cruz making his little entrance, but the whole thing with Kalani though, it's the same thing every single week, and honestly, I'm getting tired with it. I like her. I think she is talented. It's not like she's not good. She's got the moves. It's just She's got to do something. And I don't know if this is just this story WWE just is running for her and they're just sticking with it week in and week out. But
The story that they're
they
making
got
her
to
a
do
black
something.
woman complaining about everything instead of fighting for what she wants. I'm getting sick of it.
I mean, in all honesty, she needs to start fighting in matches. That's what I care about. She is good. Put her on cards. Get her in matches and get her back into it where she can become the contender. Because I think they have a history there, Kalani and Kendall, and they have the story there. I
Kaylani
just
has
don't know what
history
they're
with
waiting for.
everybody who has been champion and who is vying to be champion, which is literally everybody in that locker room.
That's true. That's true.
She
You
might
can pair with anybody. It's just I don't know why
she might as
WWE's doing
well.
this, man.
They might as well have a gauntlet match to determine who will be the number one contender.
Yeah.
Have Kaylani start it and then miraculously win the entire thing so she can say she won a number one contendership fair and square with everybody that wants a title shot. Or make it a battle royal.
No,
Something.
no, yeah, I agree.
Just so
Yep,
she
yep,
wins and
yep.
she shuts up
That's
and
it.
finally gets a
Yep.
shot.
No, yeah. I
'Cause I'm
mean,
getting sick and tired
they
of it.
need. No, I agree. And now, honestly, the WWE needs to do something. NXT need the I don't know, man. Maybe the writers just don't have anything for her.
The writers
That's
don't
why
have
they're sticking.
anything for her and it's showing. Porque si on, because if I have to hear her go on and on about it one more time, one more,
I bet you
one
she
more,
does it next week too. I bet you.
I'm going to hunt down the office of the performance center and ask them what the hell they're planning to do with this girl. Because we've had people day in and day out complain
Blame
on
you.
and on and on for weeks,
I don't
months,
blame you.
years about not getting opportunities. She's sounding like Sami Zayn during its conspiracy theory era and the pandemic era. And I
I love
hated
that,
that.
Jeffrey. I love that. I love that. I love that. That's great, Sami Zayn. That is so true. He's a bum,
And
by the
speaking
way.
of people I can't stand, the Vanity Project are in Robert Stone's office, and they're upset that Myles might get a titles match by beating Kam Hendrix and talk up being the best team around. Notice how I use air quotes because that ain't true. Because I said before, I know 20 tag teams in the independent scene that could whoop these guys in 3 seconds flat.
So
Because
my
they
question
suck.
is, why isn't WWE looking at them and signing them? Because told you, tag division's a mess. So why isn't WWE signing these guys that are wrestling? Now
That's an
that's my
excellent
question.
question. Go find the WWID prospect office and ask them that.
I'd rather
So,
not.
anyways,
They don't respond to my emails, so there you go.
well, they clearly don't
Uh,
respond to mine. Anyways, Jackson Drake says Myles is wrestling Cam because he knows he can beat Cam, and brother can't touch him. Which, boy, you should not be saying that because you are white as rice, and you saying that? No. Anyways, he says it's fine because Brad and Ricky are gonna retain, and one day soon he's gonna be North American champion, and blah 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 blah. It's like shut the f up. Keanu Carter comes in. Vanity Project get their ass out of there. Which thank you, Keanu. Micah
yeah.
comes in, takes a moment to take Keanu in, and Jackson says, "Are you done yet?" And she says she is now, and leaves with them. Keanu calmly asks Robert for a match, and he is skeptical, and that's all. But he gives him a match. Robert's phone rings, picks him up, and tells
Mhm.
Grayson Waller to get back in the arena because they're not done yet. I wonder what that means.
Mhm.
So I know you're not gonna know who that team is specifically, but in
BCB. Yeah, I
here
was gonna
in
ask
Tampa,
you.
there is a team in Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, a company that runs in Tampa and occasionally St. Petersburg. They have
Okay.
tag champions right now that are called BCB or Brutal Cuban Business.
Okay.
And they're decent and they're a good team. I will give them that. I've seen them a couple times. So this is an
Okay.
example that someone put out of someone that could probably beat Swipe Right.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I can name a couple myself, but I'm not going to go into that tangent just yet. Once they lose those belts, I would gladly go in that tangent again. But we're not in the time for that right
Ah,
now.
I like
Sophia
the
Hale
segment.
comes into the
That
locker
was
room
good, by the way.
and is yelling. congratulating Jada for beating Natty last week. And she says, I know I have been the easiest to deal with, and I appreciate what you did for me last week. And Thea says, I know what it feels like to be isolated in this locker room. And they share nice words with each other. And she said she spoke to Robert, and they have a tag match against Carmen and Nikita. And Jada says, hell yeah, Thea's been trustworthy, and you had my back, so I have yours. And she hugs her, which is very nice.
I liked it. I like both segments. So let me start with the whole thing with your boys over and in the Boring Project, right? It's just so bad. But Keanu Carver actually made the segment actually pretty decent, and like Jeffrey said, he highlighted that Micah actually might been is a little bit with Keanu.
Well, I mean,
over
a
there.
big, strong man versus the tiny little twig that is Jackson Drake. He could literally grab
so
Jackson,
true.
break him in half over his knee. That's how strong Keanu is.
That's so scary.
And then Micah would leave with Keanu and say bye-bye to Swipe Right and the Vanity Project forever.
And I don't blame her. Listen, no, yeah, I don't care for any of it, but the Keanu and Micah situation was cool. As for this thing with Thea Hale, I like Thea Hale, I really do. It just, I don't know what they were doing with her. Now I guess they're bringing her into this Jada Natty storyline finally, and I want to see where it goes.
It's always good to have some backup, to have some extra hands just in case, because Natty's got Nikita, she's got Carmen, she's got Layla Diggs, so it's good to have an extra set of hands to make sure that no funny business happens. And when in doubt,
no, I agree.
Make it Hale.
No, I agree. And I also agree with Jeffrey here. It would be a very interesting pairing there with Micah and Keanu. I think that would be very interesting. And then, as for Jeffrey says he's not about Thea and Jada. I like it. I think it's a fun little story they're doing, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't know. I feel like Natty's team would probably win though. Who's that? Carmen and who's
Nikita.
The other one? That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
Nikita
I always forget her
is your Evolve Women's Champion. How dare you?
I always forget because she wasn't around for the longest freaking time, man. She
she got injured. That's what happened to some. That's what happened to some of these women because of the training regimen they had over there. A lot of them got injured for a while once upon a time.
No, I know. I remember that. Just she wasn't around for a while, so forgot about her. But it's good to see her back.
Yeah, see, I can't see Thea ever being heel. She would be it for a little bit, and then it wouldn't work. It'd be like Tatum in The Culling, because she was supposed to be. She was like the odd one out that they brought in to try to make her tough and all that stuff. But I just don't see it. I feel like it could turn to that, and everybody would still love Thea. Right. Nobody would pay attention to Layla or Nikita like that. Of course, they pay the respect to Natty because low-key legend. Right. And for anybody that watches AAA, would pay some attention to Carmen because she's in Perro de Mal.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So we had Kam Hendrix versus Myles Borne, which if Myles wins, he and Tavion get a tag match against Swipe Right and hopefully swipe them right into the garbage can of irrelevancy, because that's how much they bore me.
Wow, it's harsh, but okay, understandable.
Everybody knows how I feel about this since day one. Do not act like it. What have I been saying this entire time? I said 20 teams
I said
in the Florida independent
for
scene.
A reason.
Like I said, there's at least 20 teams in the Florida independent scene that can wipe the floor with these guys. And how some of them haven't been signed yet is bizarre to me.
I see a bunch in New Jersey. They definitely, that can definitely beat those guys.
Literally, tag teams anywhere could beat those two for those belts in 3 seconds, and I would not be mad at it.
That's true.
Make it shorter than the match that The Rock had with Ronan, and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
But Myles, of course, he did his thing, and he had some decent chemistry with Kam. I will give him that. I mean, of course, Cam's got to make himself look better on TV, considering the fact of who his real life wife decided to pair herself with on screen.
Wait, what? Who? Who's he? Who's he?
Maxine, his wife,
Oh
paired
shit! Really? I
herself with.
didn't even know. Well, I know that. I know
They
Austin Theory, but I didn't know Maxine Dupree and Kam Hendrix are together. Wow, there's something new tonight. How about that?
they've been married for a hot minute now.
I
They were
didn't.
dating.
I
They
didn't
met
know
at the performance center. She was down there for a hot minute, and then they called him up.
that. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool.
But yeah,
That's
this
cool.
match was
Yeah.
good, and as this match was happening, they had a picture-in-picture moment where Cruz was meeting Hank and Take, Dorian Van Dush, Sean Legacy, and I mean, I like this match. I always like seeing Myles in the ring, and
You know
we
who
get
he's with,
Mason.
right? You know who he's with, right? Young Randy, who's dating.
Yes, everybody
Or
knows that Myles Borne is with Stephanie that care. Every man in the world
whoa!
literally put up the Dolph Ziggler Nick Nemeth meme saying it should have been me. But the women are coming after the
Oh,
domestic abuse case, so she decided to go after him. So y'all want to get mad at Myles? Get mad at her because she picked the white boy.
oh god. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to laugh so hard. Okay. I liked the match. I thought it was fun.
To name a few
Anytime
more
you
South, to name a few more teams in the Central Florida wrestling scene that could wipe the floor with the Vanity Project.
that's
And
a
I have
lot of them.
seen
I'll tell you right now. That's a
and I
lot
have
of them.
seen a lot and I've seen these teams.
Mm.
Well, I mean, if they can
Never.
make Akira Tozawa a serious wrestler like he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, then yes.
Yeah, I
But
mean, honestly,
anyways,
they're not doing much with those guys. So.
but anyways, Mason and Tavion get outside, and
Mhm.
Tavion climbs onto Mason to stop him from interfering in the match. And Myles gets hit with the Showtime kick, but Myles kicks out, lands on his feet from a back suplex, and hits him and makes Kam be born again, retains the NXT North American Championship belt, and earns a title shot with Tavion against them. Afterwards, Mason hits the ring, beats Kam down to the ground, and Vanity Project attack the two former members of the No Quarter Catch crew, and of course they manage to neutralize the Vanity Project, and they run away with their tails tucked in like the little bitchs they are.
Yeah, fun match. I like this match. I thought it was good. Kam Hendrix. I think he was an LFG at some point. I think it was
Yes.
last season. Yeah, and they called him up, and honestly, they always do that. No idea he was dating Maxine or actually married to Maxine. So I learned something new tonight. Yeah, Miles is always great. For here, I'll call him by his name first. Miles is always great, and him and Cam had some good chemistry in the ring tonight. A lot of back and forth. I didn't like the whole interference thing here and there, but I got past it honestly. But I'm glad young Randy retains as always, and yeah, they get the title shot, and hopefully wrestling doll for the sake of both of us, they win the tag belts just
For the
because
sake
of
of you, for the sake of me, for the sake of everybody in UPR, for the sake of everybody in the NXT universe that watches every Tuesday in that room, for everybody that watches at home, take the belts off of these
yeah,
bozos. They're not
yeah,
doing
yeah.
anything for these belts. They're not making the belts look good, like they're worth winning because of who it's on. Have Miles be a double champion right now. I don't care because
Yeah.
these two
Yeah.
suck. I don't
Yeah.
know. Who signed them? I don't know. What potential they saw in them? They need to go back to Evolve because they're boring as hell.
Yeah.
Jackson can go for a
That's why
little
I
bit too.
called them
Micah
the.
can stay.
Like I said, they're called the Boring Project for a reason. But I'm glad Miles won. So yeah, that was cool to see. Anyway,
So
yeah, what happened?
after that, Lizzy Rain is being interviewed backstage and she's enjoying some KFC popcorn chicken. She says it's the perfect refuel and feels like she could kick Izzy's ass all over again, and she's looking forward to the NXT Underground match between Lola and Kendall next week. Tristan Angels rolls up and chides Lizzy for enjoying Shiloh Hill's delicious chicken rather than tea and sandwiches as a proper English rose would, but maybe she'll learn after he beats Shiloh's ass. Or ass, as I should say for the British people out there. But did you forget she is not uh she is not an English flower there, Mr. Tristan. As they say in the song from Six the Musical, Get Down, I'm a Venus schnitzel, not an English flower. So Six is a musical about the story of the six wives of Henry VIII and their perspectives about their lives as being his wives, trying to see who has the more tragic backstory. And this is about Anna Cleves, who he did not like because he felt deceived because she didn't look like his portrait. So, catfishing in the 1800s, so to speak.
I
That's
know
not
what
her
Six
fault, though.
is to wrestling, though. Just letting you know. I follow Broadway musicals very well, by the way. Couldn't
Oh,
get tickets to see it. It was too
I'm also
popular.
educating the people that watch, because not everybody
Oh,
might know
okay, yeah,
Six the
yeah, yeah. No,
Musical.
no. I was gonna say, tried to get tickets to Hamilton. Impossible, by the way. Anyway,
Well, if Six the Musical comes into town, I want to go see it.
I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. I don't know.
Well, I
For
mean,
me,
it
it's
was a
not my
different
cup of
time.
tea. It's not my cup of tea, but I will say The Outsiders was definitely really good. I will say that. I did see that back in May, and that was very good. I do want to see The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys is on Broadway. I do want to see that. I heard I heard it's really cool and really good. So, but besides that though, yeah, this segment was fun. I once again Lizzy Rain, the whole thing. I don't like Tristan Angels very much. I just don't like his
Nobody
vibe. I don't
likes
like his
Tristan
whole thing.
Angels. I just like talking in
I
a British
don't like him.
accent every time he comes on TV.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know why. Just Shiloh has that likability, to him. It's like he's just like the guy. He's like the face. He's Mr. NXT for Christ's sake. It's just like I like
The
Shiloh
people
better.
love, the people love their lovable goofballs.
Yes,
They love the people that
like
are a
Bray
little
Wyatt,
weird, a little
or
different, a little
yes,
unconventional. Everybody loves
right. Like
Danhausen.
yes, absolutely. Bray Wyatt, great Bray Wyatt.
Bray
And
Wyatt
even
was
Tatum
so creative
Paxton.
and incredibly talented. Like, he could
Oh,
have
he
made
was.
a cult if he wanted to of everybody in the WWE universe.
I mean, he
I
did.
can't
He
say
made
backstage because he
the Wyatt
already technically
family. I
did.
mean, shit. He made the Wyatt family like 6 times. Yeah, I mean, yeah. He
Well, I
should
mean,
have,
I'm talking
man. If
about the
they,
WWE universe. But
man,
anyways,
if they had if he lived, bro, I'm telling you, man, they would have had like Alexa Bliss and like all this shit from what I've read and
another one.
seen over the years. Are true. Yeah, and then they fired him, and then they go on Unreal saying he wasn't fired. That was so BS. I don't watch Unreal anymore because of that BS, Jeffrey.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
good thing I've never
yeah.
watched Unreal, so.
You can try it. It's so BS, and it's BS. You know what I mean? It's just yeah. But no, yeah, yeah. I like the segment honestly. What happened after the segment?
So we get
By the way,
Los
shout out to Popcorn
Garza.
Chicken. By the way, I like that. I like popcorn chicken. So yeah, that was good too.
So we get Los Garza backstage, and they're giving Bronco a pep talk in front of an obviously uncomfortable Lucian Price, given that they are comrades in Perros del Mal. And after that, we get Robert Stone telling Grayson to come right into his office when he gets back in here. Zarya comes in to talk about her next challenger, hopes it's not another four-way. Robert makes his excuses about how it was a unique situation. Ren comes in to talk about her next defense. Zarya tells her, North American champion over the speed champion. They go back and forth. And Robbie says, you know what? I'm giving Zarya a shot at the speed championship next week. And if Ren retains, she gets a shot at the North American championship.
Okay. All right. I understand it. It's just where the hell is Tatum Paxley? Right? It's just like I know I understand this that they want to do it this way, but Tatum Paxley's not getting called up yet. I think she should. She's freaking great. I love her. But what are they doing? It's like, are they not gonna run Zarya and Tatum back? I mean, are they just
They
are
already
they
ran
gonna
it
call
like
her
two or
up?
three times already.
I know, but they're running this whole thing with Lola until she ends up losing and goes to SmackDown. I mean, maybe next week's the final match. I hope it is.
Well,
I'm not
next
gonna
week is
lie. So
I think next week will be
she
the
gets
final
called
match.
up. If that's the case, then they call her up after SummerSlam, probably the SmackDown, because I've been hearing she's going to SmackDown, as we said in the beginning of our show. So, but I think that that they should do something with Tatum. There's just it's been a good storyline, and honestly, it seems like they're not done. Excuse me, there, but I think they're not done with it yet. I do think Tatum should get called up. I do. I will say that right now. It's just I think there's unfinished business there. I really do. And I like Ren. And honestly, Ren, I know you heard the thunder in the background. It's so loud. I know I can't ignore it. I like Ren. I do. I do see her winning actually because I don't see Zarya winning the speed belt. I think that would be silly.
I
So I can
think
see
that
them
I think that if
if
they had Zarya win the speed belt, there's going to be people that are going to that are going to compare her to Soul, trying to be like her since she held both of those belts at the same time.
that's true. So I do actually hope Ren retains and gets the shot. And I can see that match actually going to be in a heat wave match. Honestly, they'll put Zarya on back on the card for that. So I could see that happening. But yeah.
Listen, we all enjoy watching Zarya, and y'all already know I've been a fan of Ren Sinclair's since before she got signed, back when she was in the Indies as Maddie Renkowski.
Right.
So, and now we have BirthRight with half of the team that are in this actually next generation of wrestlers with Uriah Connors, aka Brogan Finley, aka Finley's child, with Channing Stacks Lorenzo, versus O.T.M. and Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. And we had Bronco and Stacks starting things off, and he's using his power to fend Stacks off, scooping him up. He slips out and tags Uriah, and then he tags in Lucian. And this match wasn't bad. I was entertained. I've enjoyed watching Stacks work before he got signed as
Wow.
the mother lover
Wow.
Jake Tucker. And then we
Wow.
had Uriah Connors as Brogan Finley, which I saw for a hot minute in GCW when they were in Orlando a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I enjoyed this match. There was a lot going on. We had interference. We had some Charlie Dempsey. We had Los Garza.
That's
And
William Regal's kid, by the way. Just letting you know if you didn't know that. Charlie Dempsey's William Regal's kid. I know that. I have that in my notes.
well,
Yeah.
there's a reason why he's in BirthRight as well as Lexus King. Anyways,
Hey,
Bronco
I
goes
like
down to.
Lexus King. Leave him alone. He used to be
You're the only one
from
that does.
AEW.
Anyways,
See,
you're the
he
only
was
one
a
that does.
guy who went from AEW to WWE, and now he has a championship. He never won a championship in AEW. I don't think. And maybe the
Because
tag
they
belts.
didn't
I
see,
don't remember.
because unfortunately they didn't see the potential, especially after Julia started turning on them slowly. Anyways,
Okay. I get
Bronco
it.
goes to talk to Los Garza as they come down, and it distracts him, and BirthRight double team on Lucian, and they win via pinfall with a lateral press with Channing on top of him. After this, Bronco checks on Lucian, who is upset. Garza get in the ring, and Nima is in the middle of both sides. He's apologetically slapping hands with his tag partner, looking nervously at his stablemates. And it's just like, when you gonna turn already?
Yeah. Okay. So fun fact about this match, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't get to see it much because I was talking to my grandma. My grandma called me like, "What the hell was going on with my whole situation?" So I didn't get to see this match, but what I did see was everybody beating the hell out of each other after the match, and that was fun. So yes, that's really all I could say on this. Was I didn't get.
That's
I
all
was like
right.
watching the screen, and then like the next minute she called, she started talking. I'm like, Grandma, I gotta go. She just never gets off the phone. Anyway,
I
though,
mean,
from
she
what I
loves
did see
her
of the match,
grandson.
yeah, well, every time I call her, she never, every time I call her, she never, but she calls me, I finally pick up the phone. Anyway, not this point. Point is, I did enjoy parts of this match of what I saw. And yeah, it was cool. I guess, BirthRight, I think you said one that's always good. Lex is king. He's fantastic, as you know. I'm doing the head thing because I can. And yeah, that's all I can say on this. And the tag division is still a mess, so that's what that proves.
When is the tag division ever not a mess in NXT? Anyways,
That
we
pretty
have
much the point.
the so anyways, we get the complaint brigade. Why do I say that? Because Callie's in the locker room complaining, saying it should have been me in NXT Underground next week. Saying basically, I need a title shot. I should get one. I've been here for a little bit, blah, 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 blah. Izzi Dame comes in, berates her for being new, not deserving opportunities. And since opportunities came up, here comes the third member of the complaint brigade, complaining about not getting what she deserves. And Reina Volcan walks past and says, the NXT Women's Division doesn't rebuild, it reloads. And I'm just like, I wanted her to slap all of them silly to shut them the hell up because they were so annoying.
Ah,
It's like watching a 2000s high school movie, like a 2000s teen movie of the mean girls just complaining and talking to each other, and then you get that one tough girl that walks past them like she could do this, and they'll be like, ugh! That's what I wanted,
that's
and I
that,
wanted her
that, that,
to
that,
slap all of them across the face so they would shut up. That's what that felt
yeah,
like.
yeah. That that
And
that that,
Reina
that
could take
kind of
all of them down if she wanted to. It could be 3 versus 1. She'd whoop their ass. Every single one of them.
yeah. That's true. And in all honesty, I hope that happens eventually. I hope we do get more of her. But yeah, I didn't care for this. I don't know what they're doing. It's just like, why have Kalani, bitch more? It just makes no sense to me. And then it's everybody else starts bitching, and then it's like, really, like
It's a
we're
bitch
doing,
fest.
yeah, exactly. And it's it's just not needed. You know what I mean? Just start giving these girls matches. Get them on NXT. Like, what are we
I
doing
mean,
here, man? I hate this
whatever
backstage
happened to
shit.
the
I really
tournament
do,
where the winner
man.
got a contract for a title opportunity? Why can't we do that again? So they all shut up.
Oh, but you know what? It's because my boy Jeffrey, shout out to him over on the SmackDown show, because Triple Fraud and HBK over there have this thing where they don't give a damn about anybody in this company except for making money and bowing down to TK fucking, whatever they're called. Oh, Zero. TK Zero. There you go. Yeah, that's what they're called.
You
TK
mean
Zero.
TK 000000000 with
Yeah,
lots of commas because they're trying to make all
exactly.
that money, but nobody wants to go to it.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to go to a PLE if they have to pay like $10,000 just for a front row seat and
Yeah.
get like a bajillion things
Yep. Yep.
handed to you, which is great and all, but nobody
Yep.
wants to pay over $600 for a nosebleed seat.
Right. And I agree with you, wrestling doll. And I even agree. I'll do you one better. That on shite location they have, that freaking on shite location thing, is complete shite. And when I mean complete shite, it's complete shite. As my boy Pat McAfee would say. Oh God, EC's gonna hate that. I brought up Pat, but I don't care. It's garbage. I've heard people talk
We
about
brought
it.
up
I
AEW
know
all
these
night. Who
people.
cares?
You know, AEW is affordable. I've done AEW. I've done Collision. I've done Dynamite. I've never done the pay per view for AEW. I wanted to do Full Gear, but I ended up in the hospital, so we couldn't do that. But I will say, it's a different vibe over there, man. Than WWE. I did the SummerSlam last year. I probably spent $2,000. I'll be honest with you, Wrestling Doll. The whole weekend, I probably blew through $2,000. Whole weekend, meeting wrestlers, being there, spending food, parking, all that shit. It was like
Well,
$2,000.
luckily, the only time I went to a pay-per-view was in town, even though I was living in Orlando at the time, came to Tampa to stay
Mm-hmm.
with my mother so that way I didn't have to pay for a hotel. Went to St. Pete's for the Royal Rumble, and then I
Mm-hmm.
came back,
Okay.
which traffic was insane. Didn't have a nosebleed seat,
Oh yeah.
but I had a decent seat. And I got to see our UPR family there.
Yes,
Got
actually,
to
when I went to SummerSlam, I got to see the UPR family as well. And fun fact, actually, they also paid UPR paid for the parking pass. They were like, hey, you're doing such great work getting us all this stuff for SummerSlam, and so they paid for the parking that weekend. And honestly, I got to meet all the Chris. I think it was Katie and Tamara, which is the sheriff that night. And Katie's husband too. So it was really cool to meet all of them finally. And that they were there. At the John Cena's final SummerSlam. I keep reminding that to my mom. I said we were at John Cena's final Summer. I have the T-shirt. I didn't wear it tonight, but you have it somewhere. It's actually getting faded because I'm wearing it too much. But anyway, no, not my point. It's just insane, and honestly, going back, it's just booking has been so terrible lately, and they honestly need to fix it. So that's the issue I
They need
have.
to fix it. But just like our lovely president who made lots of promises and kept zero of them, they're not going to do a damn thing.
Well, it's funny. They
Speaking
all
of those
run
that
this
ain't going
in
to do a damn
circles.
thing, we got
Oh,
Tristan Angel
yeah.
versus Shiloh Hill. Why do I
Yes.
say
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Because Tristan's not going to do a damn thing except take a kick to the ass because he obviously lost to our lovely Mr. NXT in Shiloh Hill. And he takes a swing, but Shiloh blocks and lands a good old headbutt, whips him to the corner, boots up, and then gets a nice body drop on him. And charges in for a suplex into a shoulder breaker and only gets a 2 count. But anyways, this match was pretty fun. It's fun to watch Shiloh in the ring. And Shiloh does slam Tristan into the announce desk and
That was
takes him
cool.
in, but
That was cool. That
that
was
did
cool.
not keep him down.
Oh, oh.
Tristan tries to cover him and
Lamb.
uses the ropes for leverage, but the referee caught him. And a pop-up elbow from Shiloh, taking Tristan off the top with a diving neck breaker. 1, 2, 3. A win up the hill for Mr. Shiloh.
Yeah, as you know, and I'm going to say it again. I am the biggest Shiloh Hill stand fan, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care. I love this guy. I don't like his t-shirts though. WWE merchandising. You can merchandise the shites out of Danhausen and give him a freaking blimp, but you can't make a decent Shiloh Hill t-shirt. That's all I ask from you guys. I know you're watching this maybe eventually, but if WWE's merchandising or fanatics, you out there, make one good Shiloh Hill shirt so I can buy the freaking thing. Thank you. I'll spend the 40. Anyway, and by the way, the shirts are now 40. I don't know if you know that. 45 in some cases. But no, I like this match. Anytime Tristan Angels gets beat up is great. Yeah, and Shiloh just makes it so fun, like him slamming Tristan down tonight, just everything. Yes, Jeffrey, I do agree with that. And yeah, I agree with that too. This guy needs to work on it a little bit more. But when he gets it, Wrestling Doll, he will get called up to the main roster and he will be a great freaking talent as long as creative and triple fraud don't run him into the ground. That's the only thing I'm afraid of with Shiloh Hill's character. I really am. But right now, this dude is great. All right, enough me
Well, as
yapping
long
about
as they
Shiloh.
don't overdo it
Hmm?
with promoting and everything because what they did with Jay had the opposite effect. As long as they don't do that, Charlotte should be fine.
Hey, sometimes over promoting's a good thing. Look at Danhausen. He's getting us an ice cream truck this weekend.
And sometimes over
Go
promoting's a
Danhausen.
bad thing. Jay Uso won the Royal Rumble. Everybody hated it.
Okay, that is true. You got me there. Sometimes they know how to do it, and sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just need to let things run organically and don't overdo it. But they don't know when to stop. But anyways, we get
True.
Cruz Montana making his entrance to the crowd and gets on the mic. He asks NXT what's good, and he says, "We know he prides himself on being real, so he's gonna keep it a buck with us." These are words he never thought he'd say. He's officially a WWE superstar. And check it, there are a lot of times where he didn't think he'd see tomorrow. Not TNA, not WWE, another day of life. Because where he came up was some of the toughest neighborhoods in New York City, and every day was a struggle and a fight to survive. He ain't no saint, he's made mistakes he can't take back, but he's learned that most of those nights he was fighting the man in the mirror. There are a lot of times he thought this dream was dead for him, so he had to make a decision. Would he be another story of wasted potential, or the man his daughter deserves to call her father? And then they told him that he reached the ceiling as a tag team wrestler. He said he couldn't be the guy, but for 20 years he fought the toughest battles in himself and was on a losing streak, but then he started to win, baby. Every step forward wasn't him chasing validation. It was him proving and taking advantage of the opportunities he was given and rebuild his career one match at a time. He's got to get it off his chest. He loves and appreciates what TNA did for him, but tonight he stands as a WWE superstar and not a damn thing was given to him. He's not going to allow his past to dictate his future, and only he can do that. And look at him now, standing in the place everyone wants to be in. He's in the beginning of a chapter he chased his entire life. He's not here to fill a spot. He's here to take a spot, and that spot is as the new NXT champion. And as for Grayson Waller, comes in Tony D. He says he figured he'd introduce himself properly as Tony D'Angelo, the NXT champion. The last couple years he's seen the hottest names in free agency come in and talk about how they're going to win championships and change the business. And everything Cruz just said, with the passion, he believes him, except for one teeny tiny thing. The spot he wanted, the spot of NXT champion, well, unfortunately for him and Kangaroo Jack, that spot is taken until further notice. You can be the realest, nastiest, baddest on the block, but you ain't gonna be NXT champion. Montana cuts him off and says he'll show him exactly how he'll take that spot. But before he can do a damn thing, Grayson Waller blindsides him. Waller gets into it with Tony D. Grayson ducks as Cruz gets up and D'Angelo gets hit with the lariats. And that's how the show ended.
Yeah, bit weird. It did not end in a beatdown. I will be honest with
I
you.
mean, if it were a beatdown,
Um,
Waller would have slid his way out of the ring and let Cruz and Tony D fought each other until security would have to come break them up. And Waller would have been smiling
that's
with
what I thought
had a
was
big
going to
old smile, being like, "This
happen.
is what I wanted."
That was what Mad Dog thought was gonna happen. What we got was all three just staring at each other. Um, okay, I guess we're doing this triple threat thing at Heat Wave. I guess that's the story. I don't see they're gonna do unless they do this number one contenders thing, which they can always do, between Big G, Grayson Waller versus, Cruz Montana. I see you twirling your hair there because I know this is so boring, this number one contender shit. And I agree with you, Wrestling Doll. I agree with you. The number one contender shit is boring. I'd rather see put him in a match, put Waller in the match, put Tony in the match, put Santana in the match, or whatever he's calling himself, Cruz, whatever, Tana Montana, whatever his name is, in the match,
Don't
triple threat,
disrespect
Heat
Hannah
Wave, let's
Montana
go.
like that. She shaped my childhood and plenty of us. We had her
Hey, did you
20th
know?
anniversary of the show. Don't disrespect the show.
Fun fact with Mad Dog, your boy actually got on the set, and I have her autograph, believe it or not. My cousin used to work for Sweet Lake Zach and Cody. She got me on the set of all the Disney Channel shows, including Hannah Montana. I met Miley, I met Emily, and I met Mitchell Musso, actually. Billy Ray was not there that day, and neither was Jason Earls, by the way. Mr. Mosby actually, I think was filming Wizards of Waverly Place, but Mr. Victor Baxter, I think his name is Rod something, I forget his last name. He actually was directing that Hannah Montana episode. He was not there at Corey in the House when I went to Corey in the House before, because he was actually directing Hannah Montana that week. I have a picture of him as well. And I went to Corey in the House, like I said, the same week. And believe it or not, I also met Chris Massey in the hallway. He was Zoe 101, obviously. And Kyle Massey. And I think I met Madison Pettis before she got, big. And before she went in the movie with The Rock. And I think I met the other girl. And I think Jason Dolly was on vacation at the time. So, but I met Kyle Massey, though. And Chris Massey in the hallway. But that was enough about my fun facts. Going back to this whole segment. Fantastic stuff. Give me the triple threat I want, please, at Heatwave. That's all I got to ask booking here. So, not Rob Schneider. I think it's you have to Google Victor Baxter. Overplay Victor Baxter. That's So Raven. I met him, Jeffrey. I forget his name now. But yeah. But no, yeah, like I said, give me the triple threat, man. Let's run it. By the way. Anyway, what do you think, Wrestling Doll, here?
Well,
About
I
these
think it was
guys?
a fun way to end the show. It was a good time. It will
Rondell
hopefully not
Sheridan, by
get
the way.
a
That's his name.
predictable triple threat match. Make it more entertaining. Do something. Rondell Sheridan.
That's it. I met him on the set of Hannah Montana. He was directing. I was so upset because, believe it or not, I wanted to meet him so bad because I love That So Raven. Loved it. And I loved his character, right? And I was like, damn, he's not here. So I go to Hannah the next day. We get on the set. He's there, by the way. And the other thing too was I remember with that story was I don't Brittany Current. She's an actress. She was actually in The Musician. She was in Chelsea on Sweet Lave Zach and Cody. She was in the car. We pull up to this mansion. And I'm like, who the hell lives here? And then she gets in the car, and we were like, holy shit! It's like you played Chelsea on Sweet Life. We were like, no way. So my cousin was friends with her, believe it or not. But it is pretty neat though that I used to get on the set. Emily, actually, another fun fact here. Emily felt so bad for us because they were filming the Hannah hockey episode. I don't know if you remember that, Wrestling Doll. They had a Hannah Montana hockey episode. It was so hot. Emily kept running back and forth to the trailer, so we never got a picture with her. But she gave me her highlighted signed script. I actually have it underneath my bed, and I got Miley and Mitchell to sign it, by the way. So I do have that piece of Disney history that nobody else has. So yeah, pretty wild. Anyway, not me yapping about Hannah. I do apologize about that story, but I don't get to tell it often anymore because nobody asks. So, but I had to bring it up tonight.
Well, I mean, it was. It's always
Thank
fun
you,
to hear
Jeffrey.
some
Yeah.
fun stuff every now and then. Is there anything else you wanted to tell us regarding some
Yes.
news?
Yes. Give me a minute if I can find it because everything got messed up with our intros here, and that was because I don't know why. We still gotta fix that. But we will be right back.
Hey guys, what's up?
All right. So that one actually worked. I'm surprised because the other one didn't. Still gotta talk. To Katie and Chris about one of the other intros. Right. Anyway, so unfortunately or fortunately, as you know, WWE WrestleMania will be in Saudi Arabia. It's looking like from the reports that the Hall of Fame will also be in Saudi Arabia. A lot of fans
Well,
are not
get ready for the
happy
women to
about
be wearing bodysuits all weekend.
right, and I'm not
They're
happy
gonna be
about
dying
this.
of heat.
I'm not well. Actually, they do the Hall of Fame. Might be an air conditioning place, so it might not be that bad. Thank
They're
goodness.
still gonna be
And
dying of
they
heat in the
immediately
bodysuits all weekend.
well, no, that's true. That's true. But in all honesty, I'm not for this. I think they should do it here, but I know they're gonna do it there. It's just dumb, but whatever. Yes. I'm not getting into that wrestling. That's a whole other. We're gonna be here for a whole hour if you let me get into that. I don't want to, and I also don't want to get kicked off. Um, Other sources say that Kari Zane was not at AEW Redemption, and she doesn't know where she's going to sign yet.
Which
But
is
her new
good. She can take
agent,
her time. She can explore other companies, see options out there. Maybe she'll take a forever home. Maybe she'll work in multiple companies and eventually go somewhere else. Matt Cardona did it, and now he's a
I
WWE
agree.
superstar, whether he's working all the time or not. At the end of the day, he's
Oh,
still traveling with his hot wife.
no, look, yeah. Um, as I mentioned, the reason why they did not do Jade versus Charlotte was because one of the two, this is the rumor going on, is gonna win the championship this weekend. I'm hoping it's Jade. I think last night on the
I
Raw
don't.
review,
Nope,
I
nope, nope,
believe
nope,
the
nope,
boy
nope,
said
nope,
Jade.
nope, nope.
So, okay.
Jade Cargill is not championship material. I do not care if it is a mid-card championship. I don't like Jade Cargill as champion. Why? She bores me, and she still needs to work on her wrestling. She's gotten a little bit better. Doesn't mean she's gotten even better. No, because she's still missing some spots. There's been moments that she's messed up quite a bit since being a WWE superstar. If you want to be champion,
Here's
you're going to want people to take you serious enough to where they can watch you and not think, oh, she's going to mess up again. Some way, somehow, she's going to mess up again. No.
do you
I
think
want
it's
somebody
gonna
who
be
can have
Charlotte?
fun with the title. The only one that can have fun with the title of the four that are there until the fifth one is determined this Friday is Chelsea.
Yeah, that's not
And I
happening. I
also
hate to
say
say
that because I'm slightly biased because I worship the ground that woman walks on. I say it every time, and I don't care.
I like her, but I'll tell you this, that's not happening. Charlotte or Jade's still winning that match.
Let
There's
me
no doubt in
let
my
me be in my land of Delulu and dream. Okay?
mind.
I am dreaming, and
Uh,
whatever happens in my world, Chelsea Green is the inaugural interim women's champion.
Still a book out of AEW's playbook, by the way. I'll say that again. Anyway, speaking of
Of course, they stole
champions,
that out of AEW's playbook. They did that shit years ago when Thunder Rosa wouldn't let go of the damn title.
yeah, and don't forget John Moxley has done it 4 times, I think. That's wild, I think. Yeah, I gotta Google how many times that man's won champions. But anyway, speaking of champions, Willow Nightingale was planned for the world title picture
And now
months
she's a Grand Slam
ago, and
champion.
yes, ma'am. And now she will be facing the CEO at All In, by the way. Mercedes
I'm
Moné.
just gonna say this: if Chelsea doesn't win and SummerSlam,
Oh,
if they miss the opportunity to make her miss Money in the Bank and have the briefcase say cha-ching Chelsea, I'm gonna be pissed. I wanted this when she was in Money in the
oh,
Bank before with that spot courtesy of Tiffany. I need her to be Miss Money in the Bank. She can make it so much fun. Let her be like Carmella and hold it for a
oh,
long time and cash in when the time is right. Because I swear,
oh.
if they have somebody win Money in the Bank and have them cash in night of or 20 or 48 or 72 hours later, I'm going to be mad again. And I'm going to go on my rants all I want because that shit gets so old and so annoying real fast. I am not the only one that's tired of seeing people cash in after 24 to 72 hours.
I mean, it's happened. Some people wait a year, by the way. For example, my boy Seth Rollins waited a year to cash in at SummerSlam.
Carmella waited over 100 days, and it was one of the best cash-ins.
Don't forget, Seth waited almost a year to cash in on Roman.
And
One
it
of the
was a good
greatest cash ins
opportunity
of
when he
all
did
time.
it.
I mean,
So it's Dolph
and then
Ziggler.
Seth did it last year, and then they fucking had to go get surgery. That was sad. That was sad. That was sad. I know Roman's winning Sunday, but Seth should win on Sunday. Sure, not gonna. I can
Naomi
be in my
also
dream world.
waited, and it was an awesome cash in, even though
Oh, that was fun. That was a fun cash, and I love Naomi's cash, and that was good. She played around with it. She had a lot of fun with it, man. This next story actually wrestling. I think you met this guy, right? You met this dude once, Zilla Fatu, right? I believe that name rings a bell, right? He's
I've met him
actually
twice.
defending his okay, and he's defending his House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship against Amazing Red at High Intensity on August 7th in Jamaica, Queens. So I think he's dropping the belt because rumors have it he might show up this weekend at SummerSlam. Now, I don't think he can
Listen,
while he's in House of
I am
Glory, but
so bored. No, listen. I am so bored of all the rumors saying Zilla's gonna come to WWE. Cause how many times have they said this rumor that Zilla's gonna come to WWE? Until I see him on my TV screen shocking the hell out of me, I'm not gonna believe it.
I agree. I agree. And the last thing I have here is the sources are saying that Rhino isn't scheduled to appear actually at AEW, I believe tomorrow night, and he's also gonna be doing some work for Collision. So Rhino is officially back, baby. And that's all I got here this week. And that's it. Yeah.
And that's
But
how
yeah,
we end the show tonight.
indeed.
So always come to watch for Mondays for the Intelligent Wrestling Fan at 6 with Mike Knox, as well as our Raw review show after Raw goes off the air. And next Tuesday with yours truly.
I
Then you got the All Elite Heat crew, which you can catch tomorrow as they discuss All Elite Wrestling. And then as well as the SmackDown shows. And any predictions on
Showdown.
Thursdays when they happen.
Yes, I believe this week will be SummerSlam. I don't know when the hell they're doing it. Just stay tuned for the social medias.
Well, as
I'll
long
keep
as
you
it's
guys
before
posted.
Saturday, because that's when SummerSlam is happening, night one.
Right, and then if I'm not mistaken, I believe the guys will be doing a review of night one. I don't know about night two. I know about night one though, Sunday. So stay tuned for that social media. I will be updating you guys if you guys follow us on Twitter. I'm not calling it that other name because it sounds like
Nobody calls it
a
that.
dirty site. It sounds like a dirty name. Twitter. You can make sure I'll get the posters up on everything and make sure you guys are aware of what we're doing. But we are doing it big. It is SummerSlam week, and NXT is moving into Heat Wave in 1 month. But before we get out of wrestling, doll, I got one more breaking news. I don't know if you're part of the ESPN Plus Unlimited program to watch the WWE SummerSlam this weekend, but NXT, they announced it tonight actually during the broadcast as well, will be moving over to the also, it will be on CW as well for free, but it will also be moving over to the Unlimited plan as well, the PLEs and some NXT shows. So that's interesting. CW is still going to be the home, but now ESPN is taking wants a piece of the NXT, and I can see why. It's the best thing they have. So
Well, I got it, so yes, I do.
yes. You have a channel. Before we get out of here, you must mention it, please. God.
Yes, I have my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go throughout Central Florida and occasionally South to record wrestling matches and put them up online for the world to see. No shows this weekend because I'm going to be watching SummerSlam.
That's fair.
And the week after, nothing planned at the moment because I might have family coming into town, so we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I might not have anything as far as recorded until mid-August.
That's fine. And honestly, I know there's a lot.
Always got to give myself a little bit of a breather.
There's a lot of stuff down there, more than there is up here, but we have some stuff too. I think the
Well,
next
I mean,
big
Florida
one
is
we
one of the
have.
biggest wrestling meccas in the
So
United
is
States.
New
I will say that.
Jersey. It's just New Jersey. They don't run it every time. It's very limited when they run it. The next one's in September, and they got some pretty big names. A certain Kaylee Lee Ray or a certain Alba Fire is actually going to be at that show. So I got an action figure. I told my mom I might actually want to go back because that's a big deal to meet her, honestly. So but before we get out of here, I must mention our very own good friend, the Great Grand Slam Puba's podcast, the Big Pop Harry podcast. I always say it wrong. Theory podcast. I always say it wrong.
The
He's gonna
Big
kill
Pop
me, but
Theory
that's okay.
podcast.
Right.
Listen, it's
Thank
the same. The last word of that podcast is the same last name as the bozo trying to be Dominic Mysterio right now. His name is Austin Theory.
Okay. I learned another thing new tonight. Okay. And that show is fantastic. Please check them out. I think they just went over one of the SummerSlam cards. I think that's what they're doing next. Or they think they just went to reviewed, or they're going to be reviewing one of the SummerSlam cards. And I think they're also going to be talking about SummerSlam as well. So stay tuned for those guys over there. And yeah, do you have anything else before we get out here next week? Before our next week's Underground Women's Lola's final match. So that's a mouthful.
Her swan song.
It is. It's gonna be. I'm excited to review it. I know you'll be there. I'll be there. And we'll see you guys next week, guys. Bye.